How's it going, everyone? I'm Isle, and today I've got a bit of a special matchup and a little bit of a trip into some StarCraft history. Kind of. Anyway, I'm going to talk about that now, but first I want to introduce the amazing players that I have for you today. And if you recognize these names, you're officially old, like me, yeah? But anyway, here we go. First of all, we have a Korean Terran. No, it's not Maru. No, it's not Björn. It is MVP. Oh, I love seeing that name. And his opponent here in the bottom right is a Zerg player. It's not Reyna, it's not Cyril, and he's giving it away there. It is Stephano. This one is really great. Now have a look at this map. It's Daybreak. What an old map. So, this game that I've got from you was played at Gamers8 a while ago, but it was a really cool thing. So it was the StarCraft Legends tournament, which was a competition between four of, the very best in their time from StarCraft history. And it was a really, really fun tournament to watch. They were playing Legacy of the Void, so all the modern units, but they were playing on old classic maps like Daybreak. And I mean, obviously they're playing against, older players themselves. So you can see their play is a little bit different from the modern players, obviously. But I mean, some of these guys came out of retirement. I think all of them did, actually. Some of them are still playing and participating, because it was MVP, it was Stephano, the two in this game. Then it was also MC, the boss toss, and MMA, a fantastic Terran. So MMA is still around in esports, but not necessarily StarCraft. So yeah, this is fantastic. I'm actually very excited. Let's talk a little bit about these players before they get too much into their builds. Now MVP, if you don't know, was literally the MVP of his time. He was playing in around, he started 2010 when Wings of Liberty came out, because he'd come through the Brood War, etc. Switched on over to StarCraft 2, and in 2011 he was unstoppable. He was considered to be the GOAT of his time. He's a 4-time GSL winner. 4 times. I mean, Maru is a 5-time, if I'm not mistaken, which is really good. But it took him a while to kind of overtake MVP. I mean, this was relatively recently, only a couple of years. MVP stopped competing, from what I can see, more or less in 2013, so quite a while ago. And he's come back out of retirement. He's not going to be playing again. This is not like, hey, these guys are back and they're going to be playing. This was, I think, really just for that, for the Gamers8 tournament, but it is still a lot of fun. Now, Stephano, on the other hand, our player from France, did very well in Europe. He was considered to be one of the best in Europe, and one of the few in his time that could stand against the Korean players. Now you got to keep in mind that this was 2010 to 2013, more or less, StarCraft, the Wings of Liberty era. Korea dominated. Most of the Koreans, they just smashed Europeans, they smashed American players. No one could keep up with South Korea in terms of StarCraft 2. Couple of guys came close, and Stephano definitely one of them. He did very well against a bunch of people, a bunch of Korean players. Anyway, what did he do? He won a whole bunch of things. He won pro leagues, he won a lot of tournaments that don't even exist anymore. He had his peak more or less in the 2011 and 2012 years, where he was just really good. He has a very notable style, and some of his kind of what he's really known for is the way that he revolutionized kind of Zerg. Like, he was very famous for being able to max out on roaches at a ridiculous time. He's also very well known for his Ling and Infestor play. Obviously, a lot of the units that we have now, he didn't play with back in his time. This was Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. His last tournament was in 2011. I think it was the qualifiers for the WESG, also doesn't really exist anymore. And interestingly enough, while I was looking this up, he played against a player called Draga, which funnily enough is or was, a South African pro player. So there you go. Haha, nice. Whew. Alright, that was a lot of talking. I'm super excited. Now, don't expect Maru level play. These guys played on, you know, in their peak, they played on very different maps. They've obviously been out of it. They did prepare for this tournament. They prepared really well for this tournament. But, you know, they're not doing this every day like the current pros. In terms of what we've got going, we have a double Banshee opener from MVP with a bunch of Hellions. Hyperflight Rotors. That is not an upgrade that existed when he was around. And there's free. No, that's not free. There's 3 factories, which means he's going mech. Double armory as well. Third base, nice and quick. Stephano, on the other hand, he has gone for Zerglings. He's got double Evo chamber. Just getting his eco up at this stage. Which is actually not even that high. He's actually behind in workers. A little bit slow there. Banshees do come in, they get rid of 2 workers, which is nice. Yeah, what do we have here? We've got the Baneling Nest finishing up, so nothing major yet. There we have the armory upgrades. More Banshees coming out. Really? He's just going to keep making Banshees. Cool. Okay, so he's got a bunch of Lings for defense. He's going up to his 4th base. Looking pretty solid. Oh, look at this map. So the maps here. I mean, Daybreak was played in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. I think this map was around for a while. Can't remember exactly. But this map wasn't made for Legacy of the Void. So the minerals got changed in Legacy of the Void to contain less mineral patches and stuff like that. So previously this map would have a lot more minerals here. And obviously players would start out with less workers, etc, etc. So these maps are not built for Legacy of the Void games, but we'll see how these guys are able to play against it. Ooh, Speedy Banshees. Look how quick they are. So yeah, he's going Hellbat tank with Banshees. Getting a couple of Thors now as well. No, that's not the one I wanted to say. Give me that one. Thank you. Speed Banshees going around. Ooh, one of them's gonna fall if he's not careful. They all survive somehow. Picking off a couple of workers at the same time. Nice. Very, very cool. Hydra Den. So it's going to be Ling Bane Hydra. I like that. That's cool. I would have liked it more if it wasn't mech. Because Hydras, they do get hit hard with by tanks. Big group of Zerglings here on this side. Alright, so I'm expecting a little bit of a slower game here, Infestation Pit, as both players are just kind of taking up. Stephano is backering up, picking up his 5th base. We have the 4th base here for MVP, who's going for the gases nice and early. He's going to need that gas to get those mech units out. But I mean, if you look at these players, their macro still seems to be pretty on point. We'll see how their micro is as soon as they get to engagement. But I mean, this is pretty good in terms of the macro. Oh, he's even building missile turrets. Okay, so he's going for a very slow approach. Hive coming up for Stephano. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. A ton of spine crawlers. Okay, so see, these are some things that we don't quite see guys like Cyril do. Cyril will never have random spines. Spores maybe, but spines, not so much. More upgrades coming for those mech units as well as Blue Flame. So it's not going to be for harassment potential. It's going to be to deal with Zerglings. Banshees jump onto the Spore Crawler. Hey, microing back his Banshee, not too bad. I mean, that's not the hardest micro in the world. I think even I could pull that. But still, I can't pull that off while macroing like he does. That's another story completely. But MVP looking pretty solid. Stephano's got units all over the map here. He's kind of waiting for a good engagement. Alright, so we see a little bit of a move out here, clearing up some of the creep. That is a lot of Hellbats. Siege tanks are spread out. A bunch of Banelings hit the first of the Hellbats, and that's okay. More Banelings are on the way. Here comes the surround, picking off the tanks. That's actually good work there by those Zerglings. At the same time, there is a run by here that got rid of 18 SCVs. That was a Baneling run by. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on both sides here. We have 5 Vipers coming out. Now this is also interesting because Vipers were not a unit back in Stephano's day, at least when he was competing regularly. Stephano was one of those players that did kind of come in and out of retirement a couple of times. You know, he missed the competitive scene, wanted to get back into it. So, you know, we'll see. Anyway, we have the push coming in here. There's a good spread of siege tanks. Those Hydras are in trouble. Yeah, you don't really want to be going up against those tanks. I think the Vipers are going to help a lot. Vipers obviously are very good. Oh, that's so much mech coming forward. Okay, so decent Zerg army on this side. MVP has the army supply lead though. Okay, there we get some yoinks onto the Thors. Don't think they're the worst things to be yoinked. It's the tanks that you don't want to get blinding clouded. There goes some blinding clouds. The Banshees are actually in the fight. Ugh, don't like that. But this is a good spread of tanks. And look at these Hydras. Melty melt. More tanks here busy shelling away. This 5th base has been taken out. And the push continues. A good old mech play from MVP. Which kind of makes sense that he's playing mech. You know, if you haven't been playing a while. And Bio is very intense to play. So he's taking something that requires a little less APM on the attacking side. But his macro behind this is still flawless. This does eventually get cleaned up here. Well, it is eventually being cleaned up. The little micro there getting the Hydras. Ah, no! Stephano! I was just saying how good you were doing, and then you run your Hydras away. Alright, so MVP is going to back away a little bit. Worker count's still lower than what we would see. Normally we'd see Cyril be up at like 90 for a while already. But that makes sense. 3-3 upgrades coming here for the armory units. He's getting more tanks. He is going to have to MVP, that is. He's going to have to get a counter to these Vipers. Now obviously Maru would already have Ghosts out. But y'all will kind of see a Lurker Den coming up as well. Alright. I like the idea of the Lurker Den. I kind of like the idea of the Lurker Den. Alright, that's alright. I mean, tanks are decent against Lurkers. They obviously do outrange them, but here we go. Stephano's going to be moving in. I think that missile turret is going to be in a good place. He's yoinking the tanks forward. Means they do get caught by the Vipers. Still another one here at the back, shelling away. Okay, MVP has taken the supply lead again because he's got 2 Banshees here working on this side. He's getting some Vikings out now. That's really good. Vikings obviously a unit that he did have. What is this random clump of units? We've got a bunch of Hellions moving across here. I'm wondering, Hellbats weren't around when he, were they? Hellbats came in out of the swarm, I think. Yeah, he probably would have seen some of the Hellbats. Anyway, this gets cleared up. 10 drones, so that's nice. That's nice. MVP sitting at a nice little worker lead here. Okay, no Lurkers coming out just yet. Just a ton of Hydras. This push is going to be picked off immediately. That's unfortunate. So yeah, the meta's very changed from when these guys were playing. Obviously back then, with mineral patches having more minerals in, you could get away with less bases. Legacy of the Void brought in the changes where, you know, the worker changes and the patches meant that you had to expand a lot more rapidly. Good defense here by Stephano, by the way. So yeah, that is a big difference of the play. You would not, after 14 minutes, see this many bases coming up in Wings of Liberty era. Ooh, that wasn't a cancel. That was actually a destroy. Nice. Might have been the tanks, actually. Okay, I like the Vikings. I think the Vikings are very good helping out against those Hydras. He's going to have to control it properly. This is a nice little overlord here. MVP does see it. Not too much he can do about it. Well, he could use the Vikings. Some Hellbats left here for protection. Okay, so MVP is pretty much maxed out now. He's got an army supply of 123 with an army that hits pretty hard. Obviously, he doesn't have his ghosts out. I don't think he's going to. I don't expect it. Now we get a Spire as well. Stephano's just going for all of the things. And here comes the push. Okay, he's got to make sure he's spreading out his tanks. Seems to be doing a decent job. Some of the Vikings do get yoinked, but they are driving the... Ooh, lurkers. Lurkers sieging up into lurkers. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. He's going to keep pushing forward, though. He might just have enough. Oh, that again. Oh, those lurkers. I mean, lurkers are much better against light units, obviously. But they still pack a big punch. A little bit of a Hydra run by here, getting rid of this. There is reinforcements here to get to clean it up. I think there's mules and an SCV repairing. Yeah, he'll actually be okay here. MVP slowly going to continue pushing forward. Now he knows the lurker from Brood War, but he doesn't know this version of it. So we'll see what he plays, or how he plays against this at least. I'm wondering what Stephano is thinking of with the Spire. Maybe just in case he wants to go Brood Wars. Alright, here we go. He's going to be springing on this Terran army. He's going to try clean it up here. Reinforcements moving in from the north side. Blinding Clouds once again going down, but decent split of the tanks. Stephano is moving in further. The Banshees are going to cloak. Looks like they attacked their own tank there, but I don't think they did. MVP's losing a lot of supply. I don't think he's going to have enough here. Yeah, good work here with the Hydras and the Vipers. I doubted the Hydras, but seems to be working for Stephano. Now the thing is, in a modern game, obviously those Hydras would be countered by Ghosts. Not the Hydras, the Vipers. And the Lurkers would be countered by Ghosts. So, you know, MVP is missing two big parts. Now, I'm not going to blame him. I mean, he hasn't played StarCraft in a while. He came back for this one, so, you know, good on him. 6 ACVs do fall over here. That's going to be a little bit more. I think we're going to see a little bit of a final push out here. Any type of push from MVP. We're going to see what this Zerg army can do. A couple of Blinding Clouds. I love the tank positioning here. Protecting those tanks. Nice spread here from MVP, actually. Okay, once again. Lurkers. No lurkers here. Vipers, whatever that unit's called. Just trying to whittle that army down little by little. I like the lurker use here. Okay, we're going to have to see you moving forward a little bit more. And he does. MVP slowly moving forward. There's going to be a counter attack going up here. 16 SCVs have fallen from here. The Hydras do fall back to help defend. Tanks are going to have to be split once again. Seeing this map is so strange. This is a great position. Great concave here from Stephano. Blinding Clouds come up on the siege tanks at the back. And I think with the yoinks and the Viper or the Hydra count, this should be a nice cleanup here for Stephano. He's got to get his Hydras a little bit closer. Tanks still deal a lot of damage. He does have all the upgrades, which is really good. But yeah, I think MVP is not going to be able to stop this. GG is cool. Stephano takes the game. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was such a nice game. Such a trip down memory lane. Seeing these players. I remember watching them. I missed MVP and Stephano. I only watched like towards the end of their careers. But I am going to be casting some of the others. Especially MC, the boss task, who was one of my absolute favorite Protosses from back in time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more StarCraft 2 content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.